Welcome to Hockey Wiz Talks podcast. Today I'll be talking about what is wrong with the Montreal Canadiens. The Montreal Canadiens have missed the playoffs the past 3 seasons and don't seem to be making the playoffs anytime soon. While they have a nice core, it will take a few seasons until they are ready to be contenders. In this podcast, I talk about the issues with the Montreal Canadiens and how to fix them. Here are the major issues with the Montreal Canadiens. 1. Bad trades and signings. 2. Core players are aging. 3. The decline of Carey Price. 4. Lack of scoring. And 5. Poor drafting in the past few years. Here are the worst signings by the Montreal Canadiens. In 2016, Andrew Shaw was signed to a 6-year deal worth $3.9 million per season. Andrew Shaw was an important role player on the Chicago Blackhawks during their championship run, but he is not worth this contract. While there is value in hard-working and gritty forwards that also make a living getting under opponents' skin, it's not worth what a third-line scorer would typically get. Shaw actually had a career-high 47 points before being traded back to Chicago in the 2019 offseason, but with the way he plays, he won't be worth $3.9 million much longer. In 2017, Karl Alzner was signed to a 5-year deal worth $4.6 million per season. This was the worst signing of the decade by the Canadiens because Karl Alzner was not worth this contract to begin with. Blessed by being surrounded with star talent on a loaded Washington Capitals team, Alzner's value was inflated more than what it actually was. After signing with Montreal, Alzner only has 13 points in 91 games before being buried in the AHL. In 2018, Carey Price was re-signed to an 8-year deal worth $10.5 million per season. Carey Price used to be the best goalie in the league, but those days are long gone. His prime years were wasted on a subpar Montreal team, and he is not the same Carey Price that won the Hart Trophy in 2015. It is just not smart to sign a goalie for this long a contract for such a high cap hit. This contract will weigh them down in the future. In 2019, Paul Byron was re-signed to a 4-year deal worth $3.4 million per season. Paul Byron had back-to-back 20-goal seasons, followed by a 15-goal campaign in 2018-19, but then saw a steep decline in production after signing this contract. In the 2019-20 season, Byron was limited by injuries and only had 10 points in 29 games. Here are the worst trades by the Montreal Canadiens. Acquiring Andrew Shaw from the Chicago Blackhawks for 2 second-round picks in 2016. It didn't make sense to me why the Montreal Canadiens wanted to acquire Andrew Shaw, as they already had too many 3rd and 4th line players. The Canadiens could have used the 2 second-round picks to pick prospects like Alex DeBrincat and Carter Hart. Acquiring Shea Weber from the Nashville Predators for PK Subban. The issue with this trade isn't that Shea Weber is a bad player, it's his contract. Shea Weber has a 14-year deal with a cap hit of $7.86 million per season and has missed significant time due to injuries since the trade. In the past 3 seasons, Weber has missed 86 games due to various injuries and was shut down for the remainder of the 2019-20 season. It is very likely that Weber will retire before his contract expires, which will leave a major hole on the blue line. Check out my hockey blog at hockeywiztalkshockey.blogspot.com. Also visit my Facebook page, Mr. HockeyWiz777, and my Instagram, Mr. HockeyWiz77. Another major issue with the Canadiens is that their core is aging. Carey Price, their franchise goalie, is 32. Shea Weber and Jeff Petrie are 34 and 32 respectively. Thomas Tatar is 29, Brendan Gallagher is 28, and Philip Deneau is 27. Jonathan Drouin and Max Domi are both 25 and are in the primes. Tatar, Gallagher, and Petrie's contracts are due to expire in 2021, so the Canadiens will need to decide on whether to re-sign them or not. If they opt not to re-sign them, they should trade them this offseason and do a partial rebuild. The only 2 contracts that are untradeable are Carey Price and Shea Weber's, but other than that, everyone else could be moved. Carey Price is the highest paid player on the team at $10.5 million per season and will be paid that until the 2026 season. Price is already 32 and is showing signs of decline due to his heavy workload and injuries in his career. Due to the lack of support in front of him, Price saw his numbers take a massive dip in the 2017-18 season when he had a 16-26-7 record along with a 3.11 GAA and .900 save percentage. Then in the 2018-19 season, he had a bounce-back season, putting up a 25-24-6 record with a 2.49 GAA and .918 save percentage and 4 shutouts. In the 2019-20 season, Price was inconsistent and had a 27-25-6 record with a 2.79 GAA and .909 save percentage and 4 shutouts. If Price gets a good defense in front of him, he will be good, but he isn't going to be that Vezina Trophy candidate that he's paid to be. The Montreal Canadiens have struggled to score this season. Thomas Tatar leads the team in scoring with 61 points. The next highest scorer is Philip Deneau with 47 points, then Max Domi with 44 points, and Brendan Gallagher with 43 points. Jeff Petrie leads defenseman in scoring with 40 points, and Shea Weber has 36 points. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, who was supposed to take a major leap this season, had a sophomore slump and only put up 8 points in 36 games before being sent to the AHL. Nick Suzuki emerged as a key player on the team, putting up 41 points in 71 games. Joel Armia, Arturi Lehkonen, Jonathan Drouin, and Paul Byron combined for 82 points this season. As a team, the Canadiens ranked 19th in the league in goal scoring, which is not going to get them into the playoffs. The Canadiens have drafted poorly the past few seasons. Here are the draft results from 2010 to 2016. In 2010, the Canadiens selected Jared Tenorti with the 22nd pick over Justin Falk. In 2011, the Canadiens selected Nathan Beaulieu with the 17th pick over Johnny Gaudreau. In 2012, Montreal selected Alex Galchenyuk with the 3rd pick over Morgan Riley, Sebastian Kohlberg with the 33rd pick over Colton Parenko, and Dalton Thrower with the 51st pick over Matt Murray. In 2013, the Canadiens selected Michael McCarron with the 25th pick over Shea Theodore, Jacob Delarose with the 34th pick over Jake Gunsel, and Zachary Focali with the 36th pick over Tristan Jarry. In 2014, the Canadiens selected Nikita Zherbak over Christian Dvorak. In 2015, the Montreal Canadiens selected Noah Juleson with the 26th pick over Sebastian Aho. And in 2016, Montreal selected Mikhail Sergachev with the 9th pick. The changes in the draft will have a major effect on the team moving forward. And now a word from our sponsor. Check out my other podcasts on SoundCloud.com/MrHockeyWiz777. In order to fix the issues with the Montreal Canadiens, we have to go back and undo all the bad moves. Montreal Canadiens don't trade PK Subban for Shea Weber because Weber's contract is horrible. Instead, PK Subban is dealt in the summer of 2014 to the Edmonton Oilers for Justin Schultz and a first-round pick in 2015, Mikko Rantanen, in a sign-and-trade. Then Justin Schultz is traded to the Boston Bruins for a second-round pick in 2015, Roope Hintz, and Brett Connolly. With these trades, the Canadiens acquire a few draft picks in 2015 to restock their farm system. Brett Connolly is re-signed to a 3-year deal worth $1 million per season. Connolly is a nice role player with speed and a decent shot. Montreal Canadiens also don't acquire Andrew Shaw because he is not a fit on the team we want to construct. This means they keep their 2 second-round picks in 2016. With the draft picks they originally sent to Chicago, they will select Alex DeBrincat and Carter Hart. Montreal Canadiens don't sign Carl Alzner and avoid one of the worst signings. The Canadiens also don't trade for Jonathan Drouin, so they keep Mikhail Sergachev. Shea Theodore is traded to the Vegas Golden Knights for a second-round pick in 2017, Nicholas Hague, and a second-round pick in 2018, Tyler Madden. The Golden Knights get Shea Theodore, a top-4 defenseman, while the Canadiens get 2 second-round picks. Montreal Canadiens don't re-sign Carey Price. Instead, he is traded to the Vancouver Canucks for Jake Virtanen, a first-round pick in 2017, Elias Pettersson, a first-round pick in 2018, Quinton Hughes, and a second-round pick in 2018, Alexander Romanov. The Vancouver Canucks get a star goalie in Carey Price, while the Canadiens get Elias Pettersson, Quinton Hughes, Alexander Romanov, and Jake Virtanen. Montreal Canadiens don't re-sign Paul Byron, he becomes a UFA. Jeff Petrie is traded to the Tampa Bay Lightning for a first-round pick in 2020. The Lightning get a top-4 defenseman, while the Canadiens get a first-round pick. Thomas Tatar and Arturi Lehkonen are traded to the Anaheim Ducks for Sam Steele, Maxime Comtois, and a second-round pick in 2020, which can become a first-round pick if the Anaheim Ducks make the playoffs. Anaheim Ducks get a proven goal scorer in Tatar, while the Canadiens get 2 solid prospects in Sam Steele and Maxime Comtois, as well as a conditional first-round pick. Matt Murray is traded to the Detroit Red Wings for Jarek McIsaac and a second-round pick in 2020. The Red Wings get a number 1 goalie in Matt Murray, while the Canadiens get Jared McIsaac and a second-round pick. Montreal Canadiens trade Justin Falk and Brendan Gallagher to the New York Rangers for Tony DeAngelo, Ryan Strome, Jimmy Vesey, Brett Howden, and a first-round pick in 2020. New York Rangers get Justin Falk, a top-4 defenseman, and Brendan Gallagher, a heart-and-soul type player. While the Canadiens get Tony DeAngelo and Brett Howden, 2 very good young players, along with Ryan Strome and Jimmy Vesey, 2 very good complementary players, as well as a first-round pick. After Brett Connolly's contract expires in 2019, they don't re-sign him and he becomes a UFA. Montreal Canadiens don't sign Ben Sherratt in free agency. Montreal Canadiens need to make a few trades to round out the roster. Montreal Canadiens trade Alex DeBrincat and Max Domi to the Minnesota Wild for Kevin Fiala and a first-round pick in 2021. The Minnesota Wild get 2 top 6 forwards, while the Canadiens get Kevin Fiala, a very talented young player, and a first-round pick. They also trade Christian Dvorak and Ryan Strome to the LA Kings for Rasmus Kupari and a second-round pick in 2020. The Kings get 2 top 6 forwards in Ryan Strome and Christian Dvorak, while the Canadiens get a top prospect in Kupari and a second-round pick. This is how the lineup looks like after all the moves. First line, Johnny Gaudreau, Sebastian Aho, Mikko Rantanen. Second line, Jake Gunsel, Elias Pettersson, Kevin Fiala. Third line, Roope Hintz, Philip Deneau, Joel Armia. Fourth line, Jimmy Vesey, Brett Howden, Jake Virtanen. First D pair, Morgan Rielly, Mikhail Sergachev. Second D pair, Quinn Hughes, Colton Parayko. Third D pair, Victor Mete, Tony DeAngelo. Goalies are Carter Hart and Tristan Jarry. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Nick Suzuki, Rasmus Kupari, Sam Steele, Maxime Comtois, Tyler Madden. Top defensive prospects in the system, Alexander Romanov, Jared McIsaac, Nicholas Hague. The Montreal Canadiens have assembled a really good team that is also very young, so it has potential to be contenders for the next 5 years. On my next podcast, I'll be talking about what is wrong with the Arizona Coyotes.